What's good? What's good?
What's up? What's up, people?
Hey y'all,
I think we're a little lost for words right now, right?
that doesn't usually happen.
It doesn't, but it's a sad afternoon, sad evening, and I just I don't have any words. I don't know what to say. I'm just
I think
distraught.
there's so many people who feel the same way you do. I feel just like how you do, Monica. I it's just this is a vicious cycle we're going through and our children are going through, and this just it's not something that's happening in other places. So we really need to look at this shit
Yeah.
in America.
Um, if you all aren't aware of what we're talking about, around 12 noon today in Uvalde, Texas, there was a shooting, which is 63, about 80 to 63 miles outside of San Antonio, Texas, to give you a broader perspective of the area. And there was a shooting at an elementary school, Robb Elementary, in a town of about 15,000. And it is a Latino, pretty much immigrant town. And it started off with 12 students deceased and one teacher, including the shooter, which was an 18-year-old Latino who attended a high school in the area, Uvalde High. And we are now at this moment up to 18 children deceased and two adults, and more than likely three, including the shooter.
It's three. It's three adults.
Three adults. And it has been stated that the gentleman shot the grandmother, who possibly, or we can assume, was trying to stop him. And we thought she was deceased, but she has been care flighted to a San Antonio hospital where she is pretty much fighting for her life. So our granddaughter had her little graduation today, and just the thought of it could have been her school. I thought about Sonia's granddaughter, her grandkids, Carrie's sister kids, or kids in the neighborhood. Carrie lives right by a elementary school. I'm just lost right now. I really am. Carrie called and Sonia wasn't aware just yet, and we're at a true loss for words right now. True loss for words.
I did like you, Monica. Like that was the first thing I thought about was Elijah at school right up the street, and then I thought about Triness working at an elementary school with children, and then I just watched your grandbaby and her little graduation promotion ceremony, and just thinking about cute things Sonia says about her grandchildren and stuff, and it just like broke me all the way down, all the way down, because when we send our children or our youth off to school, there was a time where we didn't even think about anything like that happening, you know? And now it's like, as parents and as a community, we gotta flip like our whole brain, y'all. We gotta look at this thing differently, because it could easily happen here. It's quite obvious it could easily happen anywhere. As I Googled, school shootings, and the shit dated back to 2000. Like, as far as what they have with data online, it just went back to the year 2000. But I'm inclined to believe it was before that. I'm not really sure, but what I'm really intrigued about is, when did this start? When did this start happening? And what's the correlation with these types of events? Because it's more than just a gun. It's more than just somebody using a gun, to me. I just think it's much, much deeper than that. People always want to, blame mental illness and all of this. I just don't think people have really changed that much in the last 50 years. People haven't really changed that much. Yes, we're dealing with a whole lot more. But overall, I think people have been the same. Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening?
Well, you know what? I feel mad. Just upset, mad. Because I feel it's happening too much, Harry and Monica. It's just happening. And then it's like, we're going to talk about it today and tomorrow. And we're going to have the poor little kids and family members' funerals. And then it's going to be over. Until what? Until the next time. So it makes me angry to think that something like this is commonplace, because, as you know, it's been 288 school shootings this year. And probably half of them have you even heard about? Have you even heard about them? So that means school shootings and deaths, and 82% of them resulted in death of the 288 school shootings. So we don't even hear about it.
It's funny that you bring up the number of school shootings that's happened. One of the CNN correspondents had indicated that we're only in the 30th week of the year. 30th week of the year. And there was Buffalo. There was the anniversary of Sandy Hook, Columbine. I actually worked when I was a teacher in Colorado with one of the surviving teachers of Columbine. And the stories were chilling.
They are chilling. But we've become a society, and this is why I say, what the fuck is going on? We've become a society where, 2 weeks ago now, or it's been 2 weeks, we had the Buffalo shooting, and I know it's not a school shooting, but the next day, the tape was torn down, and they went back to living. We went back to our lives. No more discussions. So what the fuck is going on? What are we doing as a society? Why are we accepting this, sitting down?
It's almost like we are numb to this. And to your point, as a society, it's like we find this acceptable and commonplace. This shit ain't right, y'all. Just because something continues to happen over and over again, we act like it's some sort of justification to it, and we should just get used to it. But this shit ain't right.
What I think is sad about it is, I remember elementary school as some of my fondest days. Some of my fondest days, even with growing up in the hood. I loved going to school. I loved my teachers. They came to my home, brought me home times, just came to check on myself and my parents. I attended functions, learned that I could sing. My first interactions with people, formulating relationships, friendships. And now we go to, we have to teach our young black kids and especially black boys to put their hands up, make sure you speak well when you stop by the cops, and we have to have a conversation with our kids about being safe at the safe place. Being safe at the safe place. I don't know if y'all heard me when I said being safe at the safe place. That's
Well, it's
not
like what
safe.
we gonna do? Like people like, oh Lord, Lord Jesus, we gonna pray about it, but it's
No,
beyond. I mean, come on, yo.
yeah, yeah. You know, you made a point the other day, Sonia, about uh, guns don't kill people. The guns didn't get up and just pick themselves up and go shoot somebody. The people that had the guns did the shooting. And and then we go back to what Carrie was saying about, do we know if this young man had a manifesto? He did make some indications. They did say on his Facebook page about students needed to be careful. Um, we don't know what the grandmother has gone through. So technically, we know there's a breakdown because the grandmother had them, not the parents. Okay. So, be it if he was an immigrant that crossed over and the parents felt like the youngest and the oldest needed to go, we don't know. But there was a breakdown somewhere. So I had mentioned to Carrie earlier when we first heard the news that since he went to the high school, was he a part of the community growing up? Had he been at the elementary school, and could he possibly have been bullied? Is this something that's been festering, harboring for quite some time, for years for him? And he just decided to act out.
But does it matter?
I agree that it does not matter. But
What
we
makes
go
kids
back to
feel
what are we
comfortable to
doing?
do this now? What makes them feel comfortable to do this? You, I, nobody that we know, and we know some treacherous people, would never think of to do this shit.
Yeah, people want to say, oh, it's a white thing. This young man was Latino.
He was American. He was American. He was
How
American.
about that? How about that?
Mm.
How
So this
about
is
that?
considered domestic terrorism, I assume.
Yeah, and then they said something about weapons of mass destruction because he had a gun and possibly believe he had a rifle as well. There was something stating that I guess on his way to commit the act, he was in a vehicle accident because first they had said his vehicle was stalled, and then they just reported he was in an accident. Don't know if he was driving erratic or what. And I guess and he came on the scene. But
You
one
see,
of the
my problem is I don't care. I don't really care, about him because I don't even want to give him any time. Um, with him because of what he did to those little second and third and fourth graders to his grandma. I don't want to give him any time because even if it was mental illness, he still gets no time.
I feel you.
It boils my blood because, like Carrie said, you think of your own.
yeah, the senator from Connecticut that represents the Sandy Hook community was saying to Congress, "What are we doing?" And I think that goes back to your question as well, Sonia. What the hell are they doing? You know, um, we talk about, or they talk about heavily about weapons of mass destruction. I think human energy, can be weapons of mass destruction. We
Mhm.
always see our Senate divided. Nothing has everything's about politics and about making sure I win the next election. Nothing's really about the people. Um, I think they create the hate. They really do. Yeah. Um, Trump had a lot to do with it, but hate was going on before Trump.
Mhm.
So we're not gonna blame all that on Trump. You know,
Mm.
we got 1865. We got before 1865 to prove that hatred going on
I'm blaming it on
for so
anybody who's
long.
supporting the NRA.
Right. How about
So
that?
if Trump supports the NRA, I'm blaming it on him. Any senator, any person in the House, any person that's got that little card in their wallet. Why we need all them guns?
I don't know why we need such destructive, such powerful guns. Is what I don't understand. You know, I
That's
don't get that.
and that's always the narrative that comes up. And it always appears like when that gun narrative comes up, in the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, it almost coincides on a timeline where certain state governments or municipalities are pushing for some sort of change in a gun law.
Right.
And it's almost like these events are justifying that happening. Now, I like a good conspiracy theory every now and then. Do I believe all of them? No. But some of them do make me think and reflect. So there is a correlation with these events and what your politicians are doing, right? Are these the types of questions we need to be asking our congressmen? Because this shit is, it's gonna be another one real soon. You see, the shit comes in threes. It's presented to us the same way every single time, and we react to it the same way every single motherfucking time. It's crazy. It's like to keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. We are
That's what
fucking
it is.
insane.
Insanity. But we talk about, we say guns don't kill people, right? But they don't. But why do we have so many goddamn guns in this country?
That's for their benefit.
I agree with that, Karen.
If they're accessible, don't get mad when your kid go in the closet and take one and then shoot you or your grandma or something. How you gonna get mad?
Yeah, I don't see how they can get upset about it. I don't even understand not having these guns locked up, especially when they're around kids. But because Texas is Texas, our governor just pulled the draws off of the whole law. You don't have to have no background check. You can be 18 years old, the whole nine. And the first thing they say the young man bought was these items that he used to shoot, to create this act. So, and what's so crazy about it as well is that he announced it, and a lot of the family members at the school didn't even know it had happened. And all of the victims' families have not even been contacted.
Oh,
But you got to get elected in November. See, and so this is what it is. Politics really is the damn weapon of mass destruction. That's what the issue really, really is.
say that, Monica.
Right. Because
Talk
you
to
on
me.
the
Talk
fuck
to me.
shit. You on the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? It's about you getting reelected again. It's about you being able to walk through the walls of the House of the Representatives, House of the Senate, with your chest out and an S on and a chip on your shoulder. That's really what it's all about. Y'all upset about Michael Jackson. You don't give a fuck about us.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I can't speak of that as a whole, just like I don't like to speak about, everything being monolithic. because it's some people putting in some work. It's some people writing some bills. It's some people trying to push stuff through, but they can't do it by themselves. You know what I mean? You can't do it when you are the minority. So you can say Congress as a whole, but that's just like saying black people are lazy. We not all lazy. Some of
True.
us is lazy, but
True.
some white people lazy as well.
Word.
It's up
And
to
there's
us.
some people
You,
doing some good work.
it's up to us to hold them accountable. So
Hmm.
if you don't hold your representatives, your senators accountable, that's on us. That's on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
And,
many how
and
many how many letters have you sent, calls have you made? And I'm not talking about y'all personally, but how many times have you contacted them or contacted their office or sent a note or sent a letter to the senator or had your friends send letters and write notes or whatever? Because I'm gonna tell you that's some powerful stuff. Because when they see a lot of people writing and saying about the same thing, they get scared.
I could testify to that.
hmm They
I
get
got
scared.
receipts. I know exactly what you're saying.
And somebody own it in a minute. So if Texas really wanted to get rid of them gun laws and really was vested in this, the senators would be voting, and they would have background checks. And I'm not saying get rid of people's guns. No way. I don't want to get rid of people's guns.
Right. No, I
Right,
support
right,
the
right,
Second Amendment.
But I want
right.
people to be accountable for them. I want, if you in Chicago and guns are illegal, I want you to be arrested. If you got a red flag on you when the gun come up, I don't want it sold to you. If you have mental health issues, I don't think you should have a gun.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you have a felony, I think you shouldn't have a gun if it's a violent felony until a period of time have you proven yourself. You know, I ain't saying
Yep.
your rights should be gone forever because that's
That's
just
right.
not right. But it's certain things that we as a people have to hold ourselves accountable for. I'm not taking the blame for these school shootings because I write, I tell, I talk, I come to your
Mhm.
face, I tell you what I think, what I'm doing, and I'll tell other people to do it too. Because like I said, we sit back, we complain about it, and we do nothing but
Mhm.
complain.
Yeah.
Same narrative over every time it happens. Same narrative over and over again. One of the other correspondents said that too. We're gonna hear the same story. There was a manifesto. There was talking. Blah blah
Yep.
blah. It's gonna.
It's like it's a script. It's a
It's a script.
script.
That's
This
exactly what she
series
said.
keeps playing over. It's every episode is the fucking same.
I
Every
don't know what to
episode
say.
is the same.
I don't know what to say. It's disgusting. And to me, it's just disgusting to think about that somebody could do that to those little kids. It's disgusting that we could allow that. And then I'm listening to people in Texas talking about arming teachers.
Yo,
That's fuck shit.
From an
that's what
educational perspective, you're gonna arm the motherfucker. Excuse me, because educators are great people. You're gonna arm the adult that goes home and pops pills after dealing with a bunch of badass kids all day. You're gonna arm the educator that's the silent alcoholic that nobody knows anything about because they deal with the badass kids every day, and that's the only profession they know.
uh huh.
They don't
Uh huh.
feel like they can do anything else and still feel like they can make a difference.
Yes.
I'm just
Yes.
keeping it 100.
Yeah. No, you dead on, and then you
Yeah,
gonna arm a teacher
right.
who is a little brown child in their class that they can't stand.
You better say it.
You
Oops.
know,
You better
Oops.
say it. You better say
I
it.
thought he had a gun.
We ain't talking about that though.
I
you
thought he
see
had a
what
gun.
I'm saying? It's almost like they do stuff in order for this to happen and then this to happen to get this result. Everything is about destruction.
And fear. You're
It's
right.
like chess. We gotta know how to play this game of chess to be able to see how this enemy is moving and know they move before they know them. And then we make moves that control their motherfucking move.
That's right. That's right. That's the art of war. That's the
What
art
are
of
we
war.
doing? What the fuck are we doing? I want somebody to come on here and explain to me what we are doing. I see people watching. I need for somebody to explain this shit to me because it's insanity.
Right. It's insanity. And you know what the funny thing is, Carrie? I don't even feel comfortable with some police officers having guns
Yeah.
because they reckless. I feel
Look,
like just because I went through the academy and I can shoot and I passed the test, I don't need a gun yet.
mhm.
You know what I mean? You
That's
know how
right.
they take that gun automatically when they have a shooting and somebody get hurt or killed or whatever. I mean, take that gun and until the investigation over. I think that depending on the outcome, or regardless of the outcome, they still need to keep it for 90 days. You know, it shouldn't be just like, oh, you just get a gun because you're the police, because they ain't know better. They are school shooters too, but just not in the school. They nigger shooters, Latino shooters. It's the same thing. It's a shoot. Oh, we show it was 32 shooters in Chicago, but y'all ain't mentioned that 28 of them was the police
Right.
shooting at us. You just said the shootings. So guns to me, you take it to a whole nother level because everybody don't need a gun, and just because you're a person of authority, don't mean you deserve a gun. Just like the lady with the taser, and I hate to bring up another thing, the one who pulled a gun instead of the taser.
Mm-hmm.
Because your dumb ass couldn't tell the difference between a taser and a heavy ass gun. Did
She knew
it
the
was an
fucking
accident?
difference.
Yes,
She
she
knew the
did.
difference.
They're different colors.
Trigger feel different.
Right.
How about that? Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
it's the same thing as a school shooting.
And
It's
it's
just
on a different side of located on a different side of the body, but
right.
she didn't.
You pull that out, you feel the weight.
Oh my God.
You feel the
Yeah.
weight. So
No, it's
I'm just
almost
saying,
like it's almost like being a football player. You remember before the injuries got so severe, football players get paid, take somebody out on the field. It's almost like you wonder how much they making, how much they making, what kind of kudos, what kind of KKK points do you get for bullshit like that? Was this young man trying to be a part? Was it gang activity? What kind of points you get for that? Because you
Mhm.
can't even cross over now because you dead.
Mm, mm.
it's just too much for me. I can't take it. I feel like, and again, I feel like the Texas governor and Ted Cruz and them gonna say on the next day or two, oh, we're not talking about gun control right now. It's too soon. We just want to send out condolences. Too soon to be talking about that. We worried about the people and the school and the kids getting them straight, right? We're not talking about gun control and all the laws. But then 2 weeks from now, it's gonna be too late. They don't want to talk about it then either.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just keep letting it go, so it can come up in conversation. Texas governor getting ready to be the keynote speaker at the NRA convention.
Look at there. Look at there. And see, now you're talking about something here. It got me thinking about something because what was that comment you put up, Bunny, that Carol Green made about people think guns, yeah, people tend to think guns make and keep you safe. And people do think that. Now, let's think about how people think after something like this happens. Do you go into immediate like protection mode because you've already thought like, damn, this could have been my baby, this could have been my child, I need to protect us? So you go and you purchase a gun because the first gun I bought, it was around a major incident like this that struck a fear in me. And then, I got another one. But how many people do you think are going to go out and buy guns now?
You know what's interesting to me? I want to know where he got the ammo from. So to me, that tells me he's been plotting this shit for a minute. Because there hasn't been any ammo around here since damn COVID.
Yeah, you're right about that.
A lot of you not. Very hard to get ammo out here.
You're right about that. But I want to see a graph.
Yeah.
I want to see a graph that shows annual gun sales You know what I mean? Because it's gonna tell a story. It's gonna tell a story. And to me, everything that goes on in this country like this, somehow it is connected to money. Hey, beautiful.
Oh my God.
She
So
ran
I
around.
mentioned to you all today that my granddaughter, our granddaughter, had her pre-K celebration today. And it really, this is really dear to my heart because it could have been her school. And so she came by after her ceremony and stayed with her Mimi. And we took a little nap and woke up to this story. And she's very aware of what happened. We had a conversation. So this is Miss Ariana Brown, our pre-K
Hi.
elementary correspondent. Hi, Miss Ariana.
Hey.
You say hello to everybody. So
Hi.
you remember when you and Mimi woke up and there was this horrible thing on the news about someone had uh, shot at an elementary school and some kids had passed away. You remember that? You do, and a teacher was shot, and we were talking about it, and why did he do that, and what happened. And so, tell Mimi and Miss Anya and Sister Carrie about, and the audience, how did you feel about that when you and I were talking about it?
Talk. Uh, and so I had it. Don't be shy. Talk. How did you feel when you heard that the kids were shot and killed? How did that make you feel? That makes me feel very bad, and I don't like that.
Yes, ma'am.
And what
I
else did
hear
you say
you.
about that?
I don't like teachers getting shot. I don't like other kids to get shot.
That's right, because it's not good. And their mommies and daddies are sad, right?
Everybody be sad if other kids get shot, if other teacher gets shot. That's not okay.
That's right. That is
Right,
not a.
baby. That's
That's right.
right. Oh, you're
And so,
so smart.
She is.
Mm.
what do you think? What do you think, Ariana? They should the schools and big people that make decisions for little kids. What do you think they should do?
That makes people a little happy.
Make people feel happy,
Mhm.
and how can that
No
happen?
other kids to get shot. No other teachers to get shot. That's
That's
so
Right.
sad.
right. That's
That's
right.
right. Tired of it.
Because
Right.
school is for what? What did Mimi tell you about school? What are you supposed to do when you go to school?
We listen to our teacher.
And what else?
We learn
That's right. And strive for what?
greatness.
And what else? Black what?
Black people.
Black excellence.
Black excellence.
That's right. That's right. So it doesn't matter if you're black or brown or white or Asian or whatever. Everybody's
Good job, Ariana. Good job.
Black people. That's right. You said that
everybody should be
so
able to go to
well.
school and get an education.
And you look beautiful at your graduation, Ariana.
Yes, you
Thank
did.
you.
All right. So Ariana, we thank you for coming on today. And we hope that you'll have better news for us next time we bring you on as our elementary
There's one more
correspondent.
question.
Go ahead.
There's one more question I have to say.
Yes.
One more question you have to ask. I have to ask. Can I please have one more question?
Yes.
So, I was throwing up and my mommy take me
to the restroom, and then I wasn't feeling good. My tummy was hurting, and then I ate waffles and I ate bacon and I ate pizza, and then I didn't feel so good.
And yes, when you came with Mimi, right? You feel better now, right? And we so glad you are better. So thank you. Mimi, love you.
Thank you, Ariana.
Oh, thank you so
Bye.
much, smart brown girl. Thank you. Tell your mommy I said thank you too.
Hop in, Ajane. Say hello.
Oh, hi.
My daughter, Ajane.
Good job, mom.
Thank you.
Hi, Isabel.
Bye.
Bye. They see you later.
See you later.
Lord, Monica, I got choked up. I didn't want to cry in front of the baby.
I know.
That was so
But
sweet.
your grandbaby got more sense than some grown motherfuckers I know.
Most of them. Most of them.
You
Most
should
of
have
them.
saw her. She had so much attitude when she was talking about it. She said, "What? Children were shot?" First, she said, "Children were shoot," and I said, "No, they were shot, Ariana." And she said, "That's not good. I don't like that." She was very, very vocal about it, and she was watching and understanding. And people would probably say, "Oh, why do you ever watch CNN?" It starts now. The conversations start now.
And need to. You're right, Monica. Them cotton candy rainbow conversations, that can't be it every time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post this video. It's still about shooting and stuff, but I don't know. We hadn't talked about it, but it's not about the shooting today, but it's something that concerned me, and it was something that I had to tell y'all offline. But
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna work. I really don't know how to share or whatever. But I'm gonna try to share this video, so bear with me.
Yeah, give it a shot.
It's on Facebook. Oh, what you call it? So hold on. I don't want everybody on my Facebook. Shit. Let's see. Reading my shit. Hold on.
What do you say? Your shit ain't public.
Yeah, my shit ain't public. Hold on. Void that. Okay, hold on. Can y'all see this?
No.
No, ma'am.
Maybe the audience can.
Y'all can't see that?
Oh, we can hear it though.
We hear it.
Did y'all see that?
No, we can hear it, but we can't. I hear like a police siren, but that's it.
I wanted y'all to see it. Hold on. But I can't hold on. I can't share it, but I want y'all to see the video. I'll post it. But
Okay.
some shit happened. And I think it's in Texas again, my favorite place. And the police was telling this young man to put his hands up, and accidentally shot him.
Accidentally.
Like he's like, put your hands up, and it was like, oh shit, because he shot him. And they proceeded to put him in handcuffs, but he on the ground, he dead, because he shot him. Now this is how bad the world has gotten. This ain't even on the news. And I know today was a lot, but this young man is dead. I don't know what he did, but he ain't had no gun or nothing. Because afterwards you can hear him say, did he have a gun? Did he have a gun? He dead on the ground, face down, and they handcuffed him.
So you're telling me the cop is telling him to put his hands up? Are you telling me the cop forgot he was telling the man to put his hands up, and he looked at this gesture as threatening And that was the justification for shooting?
No, he didn't even look at that as threatening. He said, "Put your hands up," as he was saying, and he accidentally shot the gun. And
How
he
you
Accidentally.
accidentally right? That's where I'm
But
at
you
with
know, they
that.
had the guns drawn on them. They had the guns on them. And he said, "Put your hand." And he's like, "Oh, and
Mm-mm.
laying on the ground. And then they still proceeded. But I gotta share this video with you. I thought I was gonna be able to share it on here, but it bothered me so bad. It had me so. Again, I don't care really what people do or you know. I want to, but this person should not be a police officer anymore.
No. Mm-mm.
Not at
It
all.
was disgusting. But you know our boy Ben Crump is on it.
This
First of
just
all,
happened?
because he's
I don't have the date, but it just came through some stuff this week. Yesterday, I just saw it because it was getting some attention.
Mm.
Then I saw today it was on Ben Crump's page because I couldn't share it or anything. But so it's getting some attention, a little attention. But it's the same thing. I want to correlate this to the school shootings because, like you said, the stuff happened over and over. Same thing. A black person gets shot. We march and protest, and then forget about it. A school shooting happened. Kids get killed. We talk about it and cry and be upset, and then forget about it. And then a little bit later, a few months when we forget about it, and then some more shit happened all over. In between time, we never do anything about any of it.
Mm-mm.
in case anyone doesn't know, our president, Sleepy Joe, is on addressing the issues from the shooting today
Mm.
after returning from Asia.
But none of them can tell me nothing that we don't know, right?
No.
They sorry, condolences, gun laws need to be put in effect. The condolences to the family, we're gonna stop this, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Blah. And then they buried, and the Capitol was half mast. As soon as they heard about it, everything was in flex, half mast, and they'll be like that to the funerals, and then they go back up, and somebody else will get shot, go back down, and but it, I can't, I can't say it, but it's you know we got to be the change. We got to be the change. We have to be the change. These millennials out here making moves, doing things. They got to be the change. They got to run for office. Be the change. Put through stuff,
Yeah.
even if it's just you putting it through. That means everybody else is still hearing it. And when people outside of that start hearing it, they gonna be like, "Oh yeah, she got some shit. You know, she got some good shit, or he got some good shit." Get the millennials out there to run. You got a son, daughter, niece, nephew. Get them to run for office locally. It starts local. It goes because that's the only time it's gonna change. We can't empower change. Only
Yeah.
the government, and you can't change the government unless you're involved in the government.
Mhm.
So you can't keep complaining about it and don't do nothing about it. If you don't want to run, send somebody else to run with for you.
Yeah. I think you saying something because it is more effective if you work it from the inside out, not from the outside in. From the outside in, it's too much resistance. You don't know which door is gonna open. You don't know which window goes up. You know, but if you're on the inside, you have an opportunity to observe. Although all of it that's presented to you may not be, you know, 100 or whatever, but you have a better idea of what is happening and how those things that are happening are affecting the outside, the people on the outside that you are supposed to be, you know, representing. And Sister Carol, Carol Green, she pretty much summed up exactly what you just said, Sonia. She said we need to start getting our younger adults more active in voting and understanding the power of the vote. We as Black people need to get better informed about what's going on in state legislation, not only voting for the presidential election. Look, I'm gonna be straight
Bravo,
up.
sister. Bravo.
I'm telling you, bravo
Bravo.
fucking yo. And I'm gonna tell you, when
Mhm.
I first started in my liberty of Rastafari, it's so heavy. I won't even listen to the R&B. Y'all know how much I love old school music, right? I won't even listen to the R&B. It was all reggae, African music. But I was nowhere near abreast of what was going on politically in my city, in my state, because that was looked at as like almost siding with Babylon. You know, that's some bald head business. You know what I'm saying? That's ignorant. That's ignorant. And I looked at it like that for years, for years. And then once I finally woke up and realized, oh shit, yeah, I'm a good writer. Oh, let me write this. Oh, you got this going on? I can write an email for you. And doing things for people, not just for myself, but for other people too. And then to be able to see how that ink on the paper made a motherfucker in City Hall do some shit. That's power. That's power. I don't know if I'm like doing an ad offering a service to y'all or whatever, but I love to write for people when they are having an issue.
And I love to get it to the right person.
Hey, bada boom, bada bing. That's what I'm
That's right.
Right.
talking about.
Right.
I'm gonna tell
Right.
you something, y'all people. Everybody think Baltimore is a shit city, and it is. But let me tell you something. They got a man, young cat, 26 years old, who making crazy moves. Oh, he is making crazy moves in the city. Those Europeans hate him, hate him, hate him, because he opening up community centers that was shut down and doing stuff with Parks and Rec, doing stuff in the schools. And yeah, you can't see it big because there's so many problems in Baltimore. He correcting the police officers. He correcting um he is turning that city upside down. He's making more moves in the last year than probably all the mayors, and they have black mayors in the last 10. But that 26-year-old is making moves. You hear me? Making moves.
On
How
fire.
old you say? How old you say?
26-year-old
I'm with
mayor
him.
of Baltimore.
I'm with him
I'm with
too.
Baltimore.
him.
I'm with him too.
He walked the
Yeah.
streets. He'll just talk the talk. He walked the streets at night. Him and his team, they walk through neighborhoods and whatever. They do it. They put in the work. And when the last time y'all seen Hamptons man walking through I don't know what's the neighborhoods right now. I can't even think of one. But walking through
Ooh, Park Place.
Park Place or Daryl Shell Road or anywhere that has a negative connotation to it. When last time you seen a mayor come through at night in the evening at dusk?
Nope, I never saw it.
He take the whole city council with him. Yes, he do. And then when they tell him about the problems and they say it's zoning or it's whatever, he come back the next time and he bring them to say, look, these people say they got this problem, this problem, this problem, and show them. And that's how he involved the community.
I
He's like,
love that.
and I'm
I
like,
do too.
I
Yeah.
I
love that.
just the energy and it's the energy is just different.
And
Still
it's
got gang
fresh.
bangers and stuff like that, but
Hmm.
when somebody
Hmm.
trying to make moves like that, you behind them, right?
Hmm.
And like I told him, you need to be the next governor or senator of Maryland because they need people like you.
Hmm.
And I commend you being his elder and encouraging him because we don't do that enough, as a generation. We don't encourage young people enough. Most times we say in some fuck shit about them.
Right. And I tell you, anybody, I don't care. But you know what? If you 55 and you want to be in the government and you work for shit, I'll back you if you work for shit.
For real. Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's time to let
But
Congress know who's in charge. I think we've forgotten that as a people. That's really, we just have become so apathetic about just allowing them to do what they want to do. And they have totally gotten out of fucking control.
Right.
And it's really time to go let them know you're gonna do what we ask, or you're not gonna be here. Bottom line.
It's simple
And
as
while
that.
you're here, we're gonna raise some hell on your ass. And that's just where it's at right now.
And let me do this because we gotta go. But I tell y'all what, this motherfucker wouldn't have shot up Joe Clark School. Would have got a beat down.
Take the chains out the door.
Would have got a beat with a chain. That's what.
Yeah.
That was in Texas too, okay? And that was in Texas too. Would not have.
Right. Right.
Wouldn't have.
But my condolences to the family, to everybody in the school, to the kids that got killed, and to the kids that didn't, that just were there. You know,
trauma. More trauma.
7 and 8-year-olds having to go through that trauma for the rest of their lives, and those families, and it's just devastating to think about. But I hope this every time, because I always see the glass half full. I hope that it brings about some change. I hope that it'll make people do things differently. And I hope that we don't have this conversation next month.
I don't want to talk about this no more.
I don't want to talk about it either.
I don't want to talk about this no more. And I want to extend like love and light, virtual hugs, whatever, to anybody watching this who knows about the shooting, to anybody in the world who heard about this shooting and it's affected you or made you cry or made you angry, or like, because this is traumatic for us too. Let's be real. This is traumatic. We keep getting exposed to the same fuckery over and over. And if you think it's not affecting you, then something is wrong.
Another brown community has been affected in 2 weeks. You know, it's really something to think about. It's not the police. It's some fuck shit just taking us down, you know. And now you went after our future, man. That's just so heartbreaking to me. The next president, the next governor, the next educator. It's just so sad, you know. Hats off to the first responders, because Uvalde is a small town. They came far and wide, man. Everywhere. San Antonio SWAT team, to the faculty and staff that, you know, did what you were taught to do in a situation like this. My heart is just, as an educator, I feel for you. I really do. To the families, I don't even. And
we might check y'all out tomorrow. We might not. We might be here tomorrow. We might not. But we appreciate y'all watching, and y'all keep the people in thoughts and prayers, and reach out to your community and do something. Do something. Be the change in your community. Wherever you are, be the change in your community. Well, love to everybody.
Take care.
Love.